2026 is here, and with a new year comes new hope that this year will be a year of stabilization. Could it be? Maybe, but ultimately it's going to come down to fleets just like yours and how you react and approach drivers who are in the market. So what's the key? What can you do to finally get off the roller coaster and nail down the drivers you need to grow and thrive in 2026 and beyond? Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, and welcome to the first recruiting roundup of 2026. We're back every month to take a look at a new driver recruiting or talent acquisition topic. If that sounds like something you'd be into, don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. While you're there, you can check out all the previous episodes of our show, as well as other content like Digging Deeper, the 30-Day Reset, our quarterly tech checks, and much, much more. Well, let's dive back into the topic for today. How can you make 2026 a banner year for your fleet? It all starts with the drivers, right? So what are drivers looking for today? One major aspect that many fleets are seemingly overlooking is just how important stability is to drivers nowadays. If you want your fleet to be successful in attracting quality drivers, you need to be a stable and safe option. We'll cover some polling data in just a bit, dealing with pay, benefits, and even equipment that I would contend really reflects just how much today's drivers really crave and value stability. And all of that brings me to this. You need to shift your approach from just recruiting to more of a relationship building strategy. You can't just focus on numbers and filling seats. It has to be about establishing a genuine rapport and relationship. Finding out what matters to potential drivers and highlighting how your fleet can meet those needs and wants.
Help me help you.
All the old tried and true methods have started to, well, fall flat. Sign-on bidding wars were never really a long-term solution, right? So instead of just banging your head against the wall and trying those same things over and over, it's time to come at things from a fresh perspective. And January, the start of a new year, is a great time to do it. It's a brand new year, and many people take the opportunity to kind of reset as we say goodbye to last year and dig in for the long haul of 2026. Drivers, they're no different. There's going to be lots of opportunities to snag good quality drivers right at the beginning of the year. Guys and gals who are open to a new job towards the end of the year but decided to stay put until after the hustle and bustle of the holidays, well, they're going to be ready to make a switch. But to truly cash in and get the high quality talent you're after, it's going to require a few things on your part. First up, pay. Shocker, right?
Oh, that totally surprised me.
Pay is always high on the list with drivers, but I'm not even really talking about the pay itself. I'm talking about how you talk about it, how you advertise it, and most importantly, how transparent you are about it. Throwing out numbers and saying, we'll give you X cents per mile can only get you so far. When we work with fleets, we typically ask for 3 variations of pay: weekly range, annual range, and top-end pay, either weekly or annual. And with our experience and through a multitude of campaigns over the years, the weekly pay range tends to perform best. However your pay is listed, and it most definitely should be, transparency and honesty, they're the keys. You need to be upfront about what you pay, and most importantly, you need to make sure that you don't need a math degree to figure it all out. It should be simple and easy to understand. Why? 79% of our polled drivers report having turned down a job before because the pay didn't make sense. And nearly half, 48%, didn't think that the pay they got was fair for the job that they did. So basically, drivers think a lot of pay structures are confusing and unfair. How can you avoid that? I mean, aside from not making things overly complicated and just being upfront about your pay, why not just show them? Take a successful driver and show them an anonymized breakdown of what they actually earn. Real-world data that proves that a driver can be successful and make good money with you. Over the past few years, there's been a real shift in driver attitude surrounding pay. Yes, they all want to be paid well, and if you ask them point blank, of course they're going to say higher pay is a major factor in job searches. But it's actually a little more nuanced than that. Many are prioritizing stability and consistency now. And our polling revealed that over half of drivers, 57%, are motivated to apply when guaranteed pay is listed. In addition to that, 40% of drivers say they need to be at home every weekend, with weekend home time being non-negotiable. So, when you talk about pay, yes, absolutely give them those firm numbers or highlight a real-world example, as I already mentioned, but don't forget the rest of the package. After all, you're not just offering pay. Make sure you bring in your 401k info. What's your match? What about healthcare? What are you offering there? Do you have performance bonuses, loyalty bonuses, referral bonuses? How much home time? All of that together. That's what you're offering. So don't sell yourself short by leaving out what could be the crucial info for a driver. Next on the 2026 hit list is tech. The more drivers you keep, the fewer drivers you need to find, vet, hire, and seat.
Yeah, that seems about accurate.
What tools are you providing to help make their experience with you a positive one? More and more fleets are really embracing the wave of new tech that has been developed. If you're among those fleets, talk about what you have to offer to attract new drivers, but also make sure you actually take advantage of those tools to help ease the burden on the current drivers to help drive your retention. If you use AI-enhanced routing, make sure your drivers know how the routing is actually benefiting them. Is the route specifically built to just save time? Or is there something even more meaningful built in, like avoiding long docks and major delays? Make sure there's an actual conversation with the driver, and make sure they know that the tech isn't just there to make your life easier, it's there to make their life easier too. How about your trucks? Are they brand new? New-ish? Well, that matters a lot to drivers. In fact, according to some of our recent polling and data, 55% of drivers are only willing to drive a truck if it's 5 years old or newer. If you got quality equipment, well, that can help attract and keep great drivers. And if that equipment helps attract a great new driver, how are they going to be onboarded? Is it old school and in person? All digital? Hybrid? If you are taking advantage of a digital process, you got to make sure to frame it in a positive light. Build up how shifting to paperless and digital onboarding expedites the process and saves the driver's time before they're even officially seated in one of your trucks. Now, what kind of routes do you offer? There's been a massive explosion in popularity for regional and hybrid model routing in recent years. Shorter hauls of 800 miles or less have had a big bump in popularity and demand. The demand for regional hauls has risen so much that Volvo has even debuted a truck specifically designed for regional hauling, the Volvo VNR. So if you have those types of routes available, make sure you're advertising it. That can be a huge incentive for new drivers, as well as being a major factor in keeping the quality drivers you already have. The freight market and trucking in general can be volatile and hard to predict, but the more you can provide stability, the better off you are. This applies to the pay incentives as well as the packages that we already talked about, as well as routing and the time they'll spend on the road. Just being able to know when they'll be able to come off and back home can be a major stress reliever. So even if you don't have the biggest and best pay packages, if you can provide stability, you can overcome that. And speaking of stability, just as I said at the start of this whole thing, that's really what it all comes down to.
Someone finally noticed.
You want your brand to be associated with stability. That's why I encourage you to be forthcoming and transparent with your pay. Again, not just the pay number itself, but everything else that goes with it: healthcare, 401k, bonuses, etc. Knowing the full picture gives peace of mind and provides the foundation of stability for drivers. The same goes for everything else we talked about. Good quality equipment means not only comfort, but less downtime and more predictability. Routing helps save time and avoid long delays. And digital onboarding gets them behind the wheel as quickly and efficiently as possible. Your route models, regional or hybrids if you can offer them, it all goes back to helping build stability for your drivers and by extension, your brand. When you can be the fleet that offers safety and stability, that's how drivers will start to view you: strong, stable, dependable. Now, again, I realize that not every fleet has the ability to offer all hybrid or regional routes, or has the newest equipment, or the newest, flashiest tech. But in the end, that's not the point. The whole point of all of this is to help you get off to a great start to the new year, and ultimately, that comes down to what you can provide and how you can frame what you offer to the new drivers you're after and the quality drivers you already have working for you. If you can add some of this stuff, great. But really, it's all about how you approach things and about how being open, honest, and transparent can set you up for success. Be that stable brand. It may take a while, but you can totally shift how drivers view and feel about you for the better. If you're honest from the jump, there's no surprises. There's no disgruntled drivers feeling they've been lied to. So, what do you have to offer? What can you offer? Build messaging, honest messaging around that, and you'll be off to a great start in 2026. That's going to do it for us on this episode of the Recruiting Roundup. But we'll be back again next month with another all-new episode and new topic. Until then, thanks for watching.